Alright, so AIMER7 has a straight thesis paper on essentially how to aim. It's fucking around 14 pages long, so I'm gonna try to break this down as fast as I can for you guys, because I know you guys are just as lazy as I am. Link in the description below to find where to download this paper. If you guys don't know who AIMER7 is, he's actually an FPS mechanics coach, and he's coached multiple pro gamers within Apex Legends, Overwatch, and Fortnite. Most notably Psalm, who finished number 2 in the Fortnite World Cup. He has a background in being a top 500 Overwatch player right now, and is currently holding records in KOVAX that a lot of people can't beat. Oh yeah, and I mentioned he's fucking 140 plus IQ. If you guys didn't know, that's actually within 1% of the human population. He released a progression guide on how to systematically improve your aim. Basically how to use KOVAX in the most efficient way possible. KOVAX Aim Trainer is available on Steam or other sources, depending on where you guys look, you know. I know you guys won't read the paper or anything like that, but right off the bat, this guy is condescending as fuck. He says that most people are idiots and are basically using the aim trainers wrong, and hopefully this paper will guide them in the right direction. You can break this paper down into 3 parts: the introduction, how to train properly, and the actual practice routines. Let's start with the introduction. He starts off telling you guys about how aiming is not everything in the game. An FPS game can be broken down into 2 essential skills, which are mechanical skill and game sense. Mechanical skill involves aiming, movement, and dodging, while game sense involves decision making, positioning, and when or what to do in certain situations. He's pretty honest and straight up about saying it's probably a better investment in time to work on your game sense rather than your mechanical skill, because that's what matters more at the higher levels. Although having good aim does increase the success of certain situations in any FPS game. In the past, we were forced to play our respective games to actually acquire high mechanical skill, but it wasn't very efficient because even if you were playing deathmatch, for example, you wouldn't actually be aim dueling all the time. Therefore, isolation was not possible. But in modern times, with the emergence of aim trainers, which purely work on mechanical skill, aim can be improved at a very significant rate. Keep in mind that certain skills like mouse control and raw mouse aim would improve universally throughout games. Effective aiming skills would not improve completely. Effective aiming involves movement or dodging while aiming, and that cannot be trained unless you're playing your respective games. The second part of this paper involves how to properly train. Now, to start it off, hours put into KOVAX or aim training does not technically equate to skill improved over time. Training 2 to 3 hours a day is productive, but anything more than that can be actually counterproductive. If you guys are familiar with sports or working out in the gym, overtraining or burning out is a very common thing. Aim training is essentially the same concept. It is better to do 2 hours for consecutively 5 days than 10 hours all in one day. The statement is actually backed up about how sleep is actually where improvement happens, and that's a very underrated thing. Essentially, every time you do aim training, what's happening in your brain is you're producing something called myelin. Myelin is basically responsible for the muscle memory part of your brain. You need to sleep to allow your brain to produce myelin more efficiently. Injuries can't happen because of overtraining and whatnot. If you feel any pain whatsoever, the guide actually suggests you take a break and find what the root of the issue comes from. Also, if you just feel unmotivated to train, it's better to just take a week or 2 break and come back, because apparently your motor skills are actually still improving over time while you're not training. While you are grinding, it's actually better to record your average scores rather than your high scores. This is just a better indication in the long run about how you're improving, and the main thing you should be focused on is mouse feel and control. I think this should be pretty obvious, but maintaining the same sensitivity, FOV, or resolution is very important. Find a setting you're comfortable with and just don't fiddle with it. Now, this is kind of savage, but at the end of this section, this guy actually mentions how genetics does play a part, but it doesn't matter because most people don't work hard. So if you work hard, you're just gonna beat the people who don't work hard. The last section actually takes up about half the paper, so it's like 7 pages long. This involves the routines that you should be doing based on what you want to improve on. So for example, if you play a game that needs heavy tracking, he's got a workout that tailors towards tracking. If you got a game that, you only need to click heads for, like CSGO or Valorant, he's got one for that too. And one that is best of both worlds, a complete workout. These routines average to be around an hour long, so it is a time commitment. The guide recommends some sensitivity settings for each of these categories. For tracking, he recommends 20 to 25 centimeters per 360 degrees. In inches, that's 7.5 to 10 inches. This is also best accompanied with a hard, low-friction mousepad. For click timing routines, he recommends 30 centimeters per 360 degrees. So around 12 inches. This is best accompanied with a cloth, high-friction mousepad. For the complete routines, the ones that are best of both worlds, since it's so general, he suggests anywhere between 21 to 27 centimeters per 360 degrees, which is around 8 to 11 inches per 360. The guide provides 6 different skill levels to choose from. Try the workouts from the bottom and see where you are. The first workout is for complete beginners. This is for the people who score below median for most of their KovaaX high scores. The guide recommends around 10 to 15 days before moving on to the next workout. The second level is the intermediate beginner level. This is suggested for people who are around the median. Again, work with this for another 10 to 15 days. Here's where I think the real workout begins. You're probably an advanced beginner after around a month of KovaaX training. This is where you begin your journey in hitting moving targets and improving your ability to read where your target is going. You learn how to react to the change in direction and then correcting your crosshair instantly. He introduces a theory that basically says if the target is close to you, look at the target, and if the target is far away from you, look at your crosshair instead. If you follow this theory, you should be able to improve exponentially within these workouts. He recommends you to stay an advanced beginner for around 3 to 5 weeks before moving on. Now in this sub-intermediate level, this is where you've learned the theory and you apply it into these new exercises. If you feel like the workouts are too hard and you aren't improving, go back down a level and do those for a bit before coming back. Again, stay here for 3 to 5 weeks. You're now an intermediate player. Your aiming skills are pretty good, but still not considered an advanced player yet. There are high scores to reach before going into the advanced workouts. I'll link those in the description below. Once you've hit these high scores, you're finally an advanced player, and this is where improvement probably becomes very slow. At this level, you can probably distinguish what kind of weaknesses you have personally, so feel free to replace exercises he recommends. There's no time indication either for any of these exercises because, you know, you're a big boy now. That's basically it for this paper. He also recommends some YouTube videos to check out to see how to optimally do some workouts. Alright, I hope I helped you lazy people out there that didn't want to fucking read the paper. If this helped you, like, comment, and subscribe for more content later. Peace.